Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a quick video on our power system. Now if you followed our videos before, you remember that we did the EG4 two 6000 XPs with the 4 Vater 100 amp hour batteries at 48 volt. But the one system we didn't touch was the 12 volt. And that was because at the time, we didn't want to spend the money, and it really wasn't having any problems. So we figured we'll just leave it alone. It has its own charger, and everything was fine. But I noticed, I'm going to switch the camera around. I noticed the other day that these batteries were actually leaking. You can actually see right there and right here that they were leaking, and then you can also see on the tag that it's January of 2020, which is not good. So I decided to go ahead and purchase a lithium battery for this, and I wanted much more capacity, because these things here, they're 24D. They say it's 100 amp hours, but we all know that AGM and lead acid batteries, you typically can get, if you're lucky, 50%. So I really had maybe 100 amp hours. So it also gave me the opportunity to upgrade that as well. So what we did is we took the batteries out. I took the original converter out, and I put in a Victron 12/30 Blue Smart charger, so I can track this with Bluetooth, which I haven't set up yet because I don't really need to. But it's already got the circuit protection built in, and then it goes through the wall over here, and it just plugs into a dedicated outlet. So that part was pretty easy. So if I come around this side, you can see that I upgraded this to a Vater 300 amp hour battery, which is much bigger. It is a self-heating. It does have the app. And I'm going to give a special thanks to James at AZ Expert on YouTube, who showed me a nice little trick on these that I didn't know, which is getting into the actual deeper dive administrative settings, where you can actually turn off the MOSFETs on this for charging and discharging, so that you don't have a full 12 volt coming out of these terminals. You can actually kill the power coming out of those so that you can work with it a little more safely. Now, yes, I know people are going to look at this and they're going to say, but hey, Robert, you've got too many terminals on that thing. Well, let me tell you, that's the terminals the way they were on the other batteries. Didn't seem to have any problems. I don't have a lot of current going through this, so I'm not really worried about it. But I will be getting a Blue Sea terminal post fuse on this, so that I can separate, because this line right here is actually going to the generator, which we pretty much never use. And then this goes back to the charger, and then this actually goes up to the 12 volt, which is right up here. So I'm not too worried about it. It's been running great. It took about 4 hours for it to charge up yesterday from 50% to 100%, and that's because the Victron charger is only a 30 amp charger, as opposed to the old one we took out, which was 80 amp. And I don't feel the need to buy another converter or another charger and run them in parallel to get more amperage on it. It's really not that big a deal. Our total draw in here on our 12 volt is maybe 200 watts. Anyway, if I come down here, you can see that it actually gives you the specs. You can pause there if you want to see them. But it's pretty straightforward. All you do is go into the Victron, push the mode button to tell it it's a lithium ion battery, and it configures it to charge this thing and monitor it. It has a 200 amp discharge and a 200 amp charge. It does have a BMS with protections on it, so that if it sees an issue, it will shut off and reset itself. But this whole upgrade took about 30 minutes, folks. It was not difficult. And I monitored it yesterday. There's a QR code on the back of this. You want to make sure you scan it with the Vater app, which I already had for my other batteries. So you scan it ahead of time so that you can talk to it go in and shut off those MOSFETs, and then go in, do your connections, turn the MOSFETs back on, turn the converter back on, and you're in business. So it was a super easy setup, and hopefully this will kind of show you as well how this will work. Now, one other thing I want to talk about on this is some people would be concerned, well, what about your jacks? You know, jacks typically will draw a higher amperage, and you want to make sure, you know, these things aren't really designed for that. This is a deep cycle battery, so it is designed to have a higher amp draw on it. It does have a 200 amp, and my front jacks are electric, and they run off of one fuse in my 12 volt right here, and that fuse is only 30 amp. So if there was a higher amp draw than that, it would blow the fuse. So I'm not worried about this battery being able to control that or not. All of my slides are electric as well, and they are 20 amp or less in this fuse panel. So again, you're not going to be running all that at the same time. Now, I will say this. This is how I did it. Yes, I'm a certified technician. However, this solution may not work for you depending on what your rig is. If you're running hydraulics or something like that, you're probably going to have a much higher amp draw. So you really want to make sure you're careful with that. You would need maybe 1 or 2 of these batteries to do that, because those can run a much higher amp draw, especially if you're using a self-leveling system that's 6-point leveling. It's going to have a much higher amp draw. So you want to be careful with that, and just consult your manuals before you start. Do your research on, make sure you're getting the right type of battery if you want to go with lithium, because they are not all created equally. But Vatra has been awesome. We've been using our 48 volt system now for almost 1 year. We've had 0 issues with it. It has been rock solid. It's a great product. We're not sponsored by them. If they happen to see this video and they want to send me some toys to review for them, I'd be more than happy to. We don't cut them apart or anything like that, but you guys got guys like DIY with Will Prowse who loves to cut these things apart, and he has had nothing but good things to say about the construction. But for our standpoint, it was easy to use, easy to handle, easy to configure, no problems. So let me go ahead and push this back in, and it's nice and tucked away. And now I have 3 times, more than 3 times the battery capacity I had, and it's a much safer system. So that's it, folks. Hopefully you found this video enjoyable, and stay tuned for more. Leave those comments, make sure you like and subscribe.